Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's me, Opio Nathan at East Health TV. We are back again to bring you information that you may not have had chance to get, but here we are here to bring it to you at your house, at your room, at a free cost. So today we are going to look at a condition called UTI. UTI. Many people confuse UTI with the infections. It is true, UTI is an infection, but however, most people think it's the only infection. But infection just means presence of disease-causing organisms in the body. Just in case there is a microorganism, something foreign that has entered your body or your blood, that qualifies to be an infection. For example, when I have flu, it's an infection because there is a virus. When I have cough, there has to be probably an infection because of maybe the bacteria inhaled. When I have HIV, it's an infection because of the virus. When I have malaria, it is an infection. But equally, UTI can be an infection. What is UTI? It is a summary of an abbreviation to mean urinary tract infection. So meaning UTI can be defined as presence of disease-causing organisms in the urinary tract system. For as long as there is a microorganism that causes disease, and it is in your system where urine passes and where urine is formed, that qualifies to be a UTI. Everyone look here. This is the urinary tract system. This is the urinary tract, sorry. These are the kidneys here. This is the ureter, this is the urinary bladder, this is the urethra. So meaning urine is formed here, it is made here. This is the manufacturer, this is the factory that manufactures urine, the kidneys. We have the left kidney and the right kidney. The right kidney is a little lower. This is how God created us. The right kidney is a little lower compared to the left kidney. Why? This space up here on the right kidney is covered by the liver, echibumba. Yes, so this is the kidney where urine is formed. Then after there, urine passes through the ureters. These tubes are called ureters that bring urine from the kidneys to the urinary bladder. Now, urinary bladder, it's a place where urine is collected. It is collected until a particular amount where it stimulates the muscles here. You feel like you want to urinate. Then you go and urinate. You feel like the urge, then after you go and urinate. So the urinary bladder, the purpose is to gather urine until a particular amount that can stimulate the urinary bladder muscles to make you feel like you want to urinate. Then you go and pass out the urine. Then after, this is a urethra where urine passes out. So when you have a bacteria or an infection in any of these parts, either in the kidney or the ureters or the urinary bladder or the urethra, it qualifies to be a UTI. Meaning you can have a bacteria anywhere. So as you can see my dots here, these dots here, I've divided this system into two. There is the upper part and the lower part. So when I have an infection or a bacteria, either in the kidneys or in the ureters, it qualifies to be upper UTI. Then when I have an infection in the lower part, it is called the lower urinary tract infection. But we shall go in the details of this in our coming videos. So upper UTIs are common in children, especially below 5 years. Then lower UTIs are common in adults. We shall understand the reason as to why this happens like this way. So what causes UTI? UTI is caused by mainly a bacteria called the E. coli or Escherichia coli. So this bacteria E. coli, it is found in stool. When I speak about stool, I mean feces that we pass. So it's where that bacteria normally it is found. So that's why today we shall mainly look at the risk factors. Who is at risk of getting UTI? Number one, people with poor hygiene. When I speak about poor hygiene, let's begin with how you can clean yourself. After I have gone to the toilet and I have done the business, how am I supposed to clean myself? I should clean myself from the anterior to the posterior. We call it anteroposteriorly. I get my TP, I clean from outside, from in front to the backwards. Because we said in the stool, in the feces, there is a bacteria called E. coli that causes 90% of the causes of UTI. So meaning if I clean from backwards to in frontwards, I'm going to introduce the bacteria into my urethra. Because look, this is how God created women. The two holes are so close. Let me draw this. So God created the women that the two holes are too close. If this is the vulva, this is how women grew up. What you see on a woman, it is what you call the vulva. But when you open the vulva, there are two holes inside a woman. There are two holes. There is a bigger hole called the vaginal opening, then a smaller hole called the urethra. This urethra, this small hole, it is in the woman here. But for us, what we see, it is not the vaginal opening, not the urethra. We see the vulva. But when you open a woman like this, there are two holes inside there. So one of the two holes is the vaginal opening. Another one, it is called the urethra. So this urethra, it is the system where the system of the urinary tract ends. So meaning when you clean from the backwards inward, in frontwards, you're going to bring the bacteria from the anal part to the urethral part. Then the bacteria will easily move and go up in the urinary tract. So when it goes there, you're going to get an infection called UTI very easily. So number one is people who clean badly. So we have to clean from anterior to the posterior. When you clean posterior anteriorly, you are at risk of getting UTI. So other people that don't clean their innerwear as well, we are supposed to wash the innerwears. In fact, it's recommended that we should use the innerwears for only 6 months. But you know, as Africans, I don't think this is possible. But maybe to some ladies it can be possible. You're supposed to use the innerwears for 6 months. Emyezi mukaga. Obuwala obw'omunda, underwear oba nika. Tunagikozesa myezi mukaga. Nekale, sometimes you go past that because of the finances and the well-being, our lifestyle. But what are you supposed to do? After you washing your innerwears, you're supposed to dry them in direct sunshine. But if you cannot afford the dry in direct sunshine, to us who are renting and the environment is not conducive, when you dry them in a damp place where there is no direct sunshine, you're supposed to iron there after. So that is one of the risk factors. People who don't iron or dry their innerwears in direct sunshine, they are at risk. Then people who put on tight clothes, like ladies, you put on jeans for the whole day, you are also at risk of getting UTI. That's why UTIs, by they are not so much common in the villages than they are in towns. Our mothers are there, they rarely fall sick of UTI. Because for them, they're in their dresses, gomez, you get, their parts are free. They ease themselves with ease. But for us here, that's why we have a lot of cases of UTI, because of the innerwears that are not even cotton. If possible, you use cotton clothes, especially the innerwears, or the trousers for the ladies. So another thing, excuse me, another thing is about sexual intercourse. It is advised that urinate before sex and after sex, because urinating allows you to pass away what? The germs or the bacteria. Because just imagine you're going into sexual intercourse, but you have the bacteria in your parts. So if you don't do that, you're going to even affect your friend or even yourself, pushing it higher. So that's why it's better urinate before sex and after sex. Then another risk factor, other people who are at risk of getting UTIs are people with multiple sex partners. You have more than one sex partner, of which you don't even bother, you don't test them before having sex with them. So when you have multiple sex partners, more than one, you're most likely to have these infections called the UTI. In other cases, ladies are more likely to get UTIs than men. Why? Ladies have what we call a short urethra. Look back here again. We say this is our urinary tract system. So this is the urethra. So to the ladies, this tube is very short from the outside, where like here you see it. It is just something short. You reach the urinary bladder. Meaning when the bacteria enters, it is going to move easily and reach here, and it causes you UTIs, because most UTIs we get in ladies and in adults, they are from the urinary bladder. They are caused within the urinary bladder. So women have a shorter urethra, so they are at risk of getting UTIs than men, because men have a longer urethra. Just imagine this pen is the size of a penis. So the urethra is as long as this, even beyond. So it gives a hard time for the bacteria to move until when it reaches where it's going to cause infections. So women are at risk than men. Another thing is about the lady who are pregnant mothers. They are at risk also of getting UTI than a normal mother. Why? Just imagine, get back here again. This is our system, the urinary tract system. So when you're pregnant, the uterus keeps on expanding, the belly expands. So the more the uterus expands, the more it presses. It presses on the ureters. When it presses on the ureters, it delays the movement of urine. So when urine is delayed to move, the more time you give urine in the body, the more you give it chance to give chance to bacteria to develop or to grow very fast and cause an infection. So because the expanding uterus is pressing on the ureters, the urine will move very slowly, and the more it moves slowly, the more you get chance to get what? The infections. So another risk factor are people who take long to urinate. You are feeling you want to urinate, but you keep waiting. Let me wait. You shy away from going to the urinals. So such people are also at risk of getting UTI. So what do we say? Urinate immediately you feel that you want to urinate, because the more you keep your urine, you give chance to the bacteria to grow very rapidly, and rather in the end to give you an infection. So another risk factor are people who are diabetic, people who have the disease of diabetes, over high blood sugar levels. So people who have the disease of diabetes, their urine is always sugary. It has a lot of sugars. That's why when they urinate here, you even see the insects, small insects coming to lick their urine because of the sugar. So even the bacteria, they like sugar. They are sugar loving. So the bacteria, they will easily multiply to people who are having diabetes. So in the end, you get infections. That's why if you have diabetes, you should learn to control this so much. Then another one is the women using family planning methods, especially the IUD, where they put in the uterus. The ladies who use IUD, they are at high risk of getting UTIs than other normal women, because this IUD also attracts the multiplication of the bacteria. And then another case is ladies who are in menopause. Those ladies who are no longer going into menstruation period. Because menstruation, there are a number of hormones that are produced. These hormones that are produced, they can enhance on your immunity. But these hormones, after menopause, they go down. Their production reduces. So when they reduce, then you are at risk of getting such infections like UTI. Allow me to end here for today. I hope we shall meet again to discuss more about UTI. I'm going to meet different doctors, and we shall be able to understand more about UTI. Subscribe on our YouTube channel, like and share. Thank you so much. God bless you until we meet again. I remain Urinaly.